How's it going, YouTube? Right, we're back on the van again. Right, before we can do a lot of stuff inside, we've got to do some stuff outside. We've got to get a lot of the outside of the van done before we can do anything on the inside. So what I want to do is, I want to get the vinyl wrap all the way down there. What I will do is when I cut this window out, I will cut more of the vinyl wrap off. So we're bonding to the paintwork and not the vinyl wrap. But I want to get the wrap on first because it'll be easier to put it on now. Also down here on these trims, you can see there's a couple of them that are just hanging off like that. So I want to get those repaired. I've got some new trim clips here that I bought from eBay. So what I'll do is I'll remove all those trims and have a look. Whilst they're off, I want to paint that bottom strip black. What I'm going to do is I'm going to paint it with the same stuff as this. You literally just roller it on. I've got some of those smooth rollers to put it on with. This is military vehicle paint. I'll find the stuff I bought and I'll put a link down below. This stuff is really good. By the way it dries, you can see on this lid where it's dried there. It dries like a hard rubber finish. It's not as good as the Raptor stuff, but it's really easy just to touch up. Around the back of the van, I've got the ladder out. I've removed that lock that was on there. As you can see, we've got a bit of work that we need to do to tidy it up. I'll do something with that later. All I'll do for now is, I've got some of these little black pushing things here. What I'll do is I'll get a little bit of sealant behind them and I'll push them in the holes just to fill up the holes so there doesn't get any water in them for now. And we'll sort that out later. Obviously, before I do anything at all inside the van, I've got to get these windows fitted. I need to get the roof lights fitted, and ideally I need the solar on as well, and so all the wiring going in through the roof that needs to go in. So I'm going to have to make the roof rack as well, but that's not for today. Right, so first thing I'm going to do is let's get this cleaned up and let's get this wrap down this side. I've got some vinyl wrap to put on. Right, changed my mind. I'm not going to wrap this side. What I'm going to do is I'm going to use that military paint to go all the way down this bit as well, just because I like the kind of rubberized finish it gives. This is it, this one here. So it'll be this, and then what it'll be is when I'm bonding the window, it'll be bonding to the paint then properly. So right, I'm going to take these trims off and then I'm going to mask all this up so I can paint this black bits. Right, there we are, that's all those side trims off. You can see some of them, they're kind of a little bit bent, so I've got to get some heat on there and straighten it up. There's been kind of bodged on, a lot of these clips are missing and broke. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to clean all this area up, I'm going to repair all these, I'm going to put them back on, and then what I'm going to do is this bottom strip I'm going to paint straight over these trims as well, because some of them are kind of faded and stuff like that. So I'm going to give the whole lot a coat right across. But what I'll do first is I'll get this cleaned up, I'll get these repaired, and I'll put those new clips on and then get them back on. Right, they're all back on now, nice and fastened back. They're not going off anywhere. I've just got that little one to put on there. I've just clamped it down and put a bit of heat on it, see if I can get it to straighten up a little bit more. I'll just let that cool down and see if it stays straight. Right, all the trims are back on. I've masked off the bottom. I've done it from, there's a little line in the bumper there, so I've carried it on all the way through right to the front. So that's where I'm going to do the black line, below there. I've masked off this window area here. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to get that military paint. Let's roller it on. I know that looks a bit rough, but it actually ends up a really good finish. Right, so I'm going to put some out of this tin into that roller and let's get it on. Right, there we are. It's had a couple of coats. I do like that military paint stuff. It like self-levels and comes out in a really nice rubbery matte finish. It does look good when it's done. I know it looks a bit bodgy when you first see me doing the roller thing, but it does finish kind of nice. And we've got the strip along the bottom now. Right, before I go and do the other side, I've got some decals to put on this, just to make it look a bit more campery for now. I will do some different decals later. We'll do a proper design all the way along it, but we'll do that after the camper build. So what I'll do is I'll put these decals on for now, just so we've got something. So let me get them on, and let's see what they look like. Right, there we are. There's the decals on. I think they look alright for now. It's nothing super duper, but at least it makes it look like a camper for now. So that'll do. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the back, I'm going to do the other side, and then I'll catch you back here and we'll have a look. Right, there we are. Side's done, back's done. The other side's all done as well. I know that looks a bit generic camper, but it'll do for now. I like these things to evolve. That one didn't start off like that, but it evolved into it. And this one will do something the same. If you do end up using this stuff, you can see the kind of finish it makes. It's a nice finish. What you have to do is use those spongy rollers to roller it on. What I normally do is I roller it on, I'll leave it till it just starts to go dry a little bit, and then I'll roller it again just with a dry roller, and that kind of gives it like this texture effect. And I think it does look good. In the side here, there's a couple of roller marks there. That's going to annoy me to death, so I'm going to end up doing that again. Right, next job, what I want to do is I want to open up the back of the van, and I want to get all the plywood out of it and just rip it all out so it's a bare van. Before we do that, I promised a bit of a giveaway in the last video, so what we're going to do, let's have a look what I've got to give away. Let's go in the cab and I'll show you. Right, apart from this camper, a lot of the other videos that I'm doing and been doing lately are around the CarPlay stuff and things like that. A while ago, I did a video on a Carpodgo device. This turned out it's one of the best quality devices that I've tested to date. Really good quality screen. It's like a bonded screen, like, you know, like your iPhone sort of screen. It's really, really high quality stuff. So I tested this one. Since that time, Carpodgo sent me their latest one. It's like a new version of it. This particular one, it's not even been out of the box yet. But what I'll do is I'm going to give this one away, this brand new one. Let me take the old one out and you can have a quick look what they are. I'll put a link in the description to the video I did on this particular one here. But what these are is these are a way of adding CarPlay or Android Auto to any vehicle you want. So what you can do is you can stick it up on your dash there and it'll connect to your car stereo system, and then it'll give you a really nice, good quality CarPlay system. So that's that one. That's the one I've already tested. This one here I'm going to give away. So what I'll do is about a month after this video's released, I'll do a draw. I'll do one of those random comment picker things. So if anybody that wants this, if you can type Carpodgo into the comments, and then what I'll do is a random comment picker, I'll pick the first one that comes up that says Carpodgo in the comments, and then I'll contact that person, get their address, and then I'll post this one out to them myself. When I do the draw, I'll give out the email address where to send your details to. So nobody give out your details to anybody else except a reply from that email that I give out on the draw. Check out the description below and I'll put the date of when I'm going to do the draw. It'll be about a month after I release this video. I'll do more of these throughout this series as well because I've got loads of these CarPlay bits lying around. What I'll do is I'll start giving them away. Right, so back to the van. Let's go in the back. I want to get this all stripped out. Right, also, with this seating down here, there might be a bit of a change of plan. I've been looking into a few things. I kind of assumed this double seat here was too wide. I have seen a few people that's fitted this double seat here against this bathroom wall here. What they've done is this unit here is just kicked in a bit narrower, and then it gives a bit of a walkway around it. So that is still an option. There's also another option with that as well. If you look at this double seat here, the width of it there is about 900 wide. But in the Volkswagen, this has also got a twin front seat in it. And if I get the tape measure out in this one, as you can see, that one's 800 wide. So if I want a bit more space, it's an option to get one out of a Volkswagen Transporter and fit that one in there. And if I go that way, I'll obviously be bolting it down to the chassis properly, although I'm not too bothered about the seat belts and things like that, so it doesn't have to be tested, because this is just going to be a two-berth anyway. But it would be nice just to have the seat there, and then everything matches in all nicely. So that is an option that I'm thinking about. What I'll do is, once I get all these panels off and I can see where I am, I'm going to have a proper measure up to see how it looks. Right, so let's get all these panels off, shall we? Right, just getting this wooden floor up now, and I wanted to stop for a minute to show you this. Here you are, look. This is what happens when you don't insulate your van. Look at the moisture that's got under that board. There's literally no insulation between the wood and the metal. So it's going to end up condensating and rotting everything out. Right, let's get the rest of this wood up. Right, that's all the wood up. Everything's off the sides. Everything's off the floor. This looks an absolute crap hole. So now what I've got to do is I'm going to clean it all out. I need to get all this wood to the tip and then get back and then clean everything out so I can see where all the holes are. So I can get all that cleaned out. I'll get it all swept out, get all this floor clean, and then at least I can see where all the holes are and everything that are in the floor, because there's some big 10mm holes in the floor that I need to treat and get those covered up. I need to get all this out and get all this cleaned up. Ground a few screws off that wouldn't come out. I didn't want those in my knees. Back to hoovering. Right, that was a load more work than what I expected. It's clean now, but I've still got a load more work to do. If we have a look where the floor was, you can see a lot of it is like little bubbling bits there, because obviously it was damp under that wood. And I've got a lot of holes where things were mounted before. So what I've got to do now is I've literally got to go across this entire floor. I'm going to get a wire brush and clean all this off, take this all back to metal, get all the rust cleaned off, and then I've got some galvanising zinc spray which I'm going to spray over and treat all the bare metal. Once that's dried, what I'll do is I'll find something to plug these holes, but I want to get all the metal treated before I do that. So that's what I'm going to do now. So I'm going to get my wire brush and I'm going to sort all this out and get it all painted. I'll tidy up this back bit as well here. So I'll see you back in a second when it's done. I wish it was that quick. Right, that's all done. It's actually been a couple of weeks. I know I'm wearing the same t-shirt, but believe me, it is actually a couple of weeks because of time and things like that. It was quite a bit of work actually. Let's have a look. Right, so what I've done is I've tidied up this back end here. I've painted that hammerite just for now. We'll sort that out properly once it's all built and we can see where we are. What I'll do is I'll find some kind of protector plate or something for this bumper just to tidy that up. And where it's hammerited, we'll have a look how that looks a bit later on and see if we need to do something else. But if we look in the back, we can see all these black spots here. I've used some Puriflex 40, look, this is really good stuff. What this is doing is this is just filling in all those holes. But before I did that, I literally had to grind everything off. All the tops of these here, I had to grind a lot of those off because the paint was lifted on them and you could see it was starting to rust underneath from where it was a bit damp. So I've ground all the lot off and I've zinc coated it all just to protect the paint and all the edges so there's no bare edges. And then after that, then I've gone over all the holes and I've gone over with that Puriflex and just filled them in. You can see by all the black dots, there was quite a lot of them. And I've done the same. Any bare paint or anything like that, I've just ground it back just to tidy it up, and then I zinc coated it. Same on this side, so that's all done. While I was at it, on this bit here, there's some holes and things like that, so I filled all those in. So they're all done. So that's the floor, that's all done, that's all prepped. The inside's all done and all prepped, and we can actually start doing some stuff now. And what I'll do later on is from underneath, I'll go underneath and I'll wax oil the whole of the vehicle at some point. So I'll not worry about the underneath of those holes for now. But there's no bare metal on them anyway because I zinc coated everything well. Oh, I have changed a little bit on the side here. If I close this door, I put a little bit of this blue on there just to break it up a little bit, just because I thought the black was a little bit plain on its own. I'll probably change this about 30 times before we've finished anyway. But what I've decided is this blue here, it's like a really dark blue. I'm going to use this for the furniture colour inside. So what that actually means is a complete new plan on the furniture. I won't be using the lightweight furniture board because you can't get it in that colour. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make some furniture from scratch and we're going to do it in an ultralight way. And then what I'll do is that wrap on the outside, that's actually a furniture wrap. So that's really highly durable. It's not stretchy like a normal car wrap. So I'll be covering all the wood in that. But we're going to do it in a super lightweight way. It's just a lot more work. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave this video here for now. The next video, we've actually got quite a few little bits. I've managed to source a single passenger seat there, really good condition. Here we've got a Max Air Sky Max. I've also got a Max Air fan coming. I've got some other bits on the way as well, so I'm not sure exactly what we'll be doing next. Probably this Dodo matting. We'll start doing the soundproofing, getting a bit of insulation on the inside. I'll be doing a bit of all sorts together, so what I'll do is I'll just make it up as we go along. Whatever the next video is, that's what it'll be. Either the seats, the insulation, the skylights, don't know yet. Oh, and I've got the windows coming as well. And another thing that's happened in the last couple of weeks, Carpodgo heard that I was going to give one of these away in this video, so what they did is they sent me another 2. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give these away in the next videos. So I'll give this away in the next video and that one in the video after. So we'll do a few giveaways on this. Like the video if you liked it. Comment any questions or anything else you want to know below. Plus don't forget to comment Carpodgo in the comments. Subscribe if you want to see more of this series. And I'll catch you guys again later. Cheers.